Hey everybody, it's Alan. Today I'm gonna take my glasses off. We're expecting a little bit of rain here in Appleton, and so I wanted to talk about some tips for maintaining your drone on a rainy day. It's not impossible to fly your drone when it's raining, but it's not very practical. Electronics and water don't go well together. Let's be real. So you have your drone, you have your props, you have your controller, you have your tablet, your phone. So lately it's been there's been a lot of bugs around when I've been flying. So what I've been encountering is that there is a lot of dirt and debris on my quadcopter. I've been cleaning it out, but there's still some, and it's harder to tell if they're even present on the obstacle avoidance. So I'm just going to give this a nice good cleaning here. So what I usually do to clean off my electronics, you can pick these up for $1 at Walmart. Just called ONN, and they're just touchscreen cleaning wipes. So they're a pack of 30. They come in little individual packets. Just open one up, unfold everything, and just start going to town. And make sure to get all the sensors too. You don't need to go too crazy on cleaning, but just try to get those noticeable specks off. I mean, we are pilots. These things are in the air. These utilize the atmospheric elements just as much as a car needs aerodynamics. So does a flying object in the sky. And having a clean body of your aircraft will do you a lot of good. Just got to get in on those sensors here, including the back ones and the side ones, even though you may not use tripod mode that much. You still got to clean off the back sensors and the side sensors. She's looking pretty good for what she's at. I cleaned this off a few weeks ago, so it's not too bad. The bugs have gone down considerably. So there she is. So the next step that I would always recommend doing is checking your props. I haven't used these particular props in several weeks. Actually, probably close to a month or more now. And I'm going to display them out here, kind of show you why. So here are the props here. You can tell how dirty they are. Sorry. These have been heavily used. One of the black props by the circle there kept flying off, so I knew that this set was ready to go. Plus these have been getting dirty, scratched up, so it is definitely time to get rid of these. These can go into the garbage. Alright, so now we're going to check for updates on firmware. We're going to go into the DJI Go 4 app, which I already have pulled up on the screen recording. It looks as if the remote controller firmware is up to date. I'm going to power up the drone and let everything load up. There's always these LED indicators, but there's also this LED indicator showing the system progress. So I have I'm going to do this in a little bit, but I do have I do need to update or recalibrate the vision system, which I will do momentarily. But let's just check for update. It looks like all the firmware is up to date. So I do have some inconsistent firmware. So let's update this. So we have the indicator showing the update progress. We're at 36%. And as the last step of updating firmware, it restarts the aircraft and the update is complete. So let's go back into the settings here and take a look at I don't see anything particularly different, but we'll do that. Anyways, another good thing to remember to do is always update the Precision Fly. Precision Fly helps you to keep your aircraft safe. Yes, this is geo-zoning, but you know, it's a good thing to keep everything up to date, so that way you don't run into other aircraft. Let's update them. And I thought I did for the app, but apparently it doesn't want me to do the app. It wants me to do straight to this. So we're going to plug in the included cable. I'm going to plug into the drone. Go to update. Download now. Important side note is it does say that it is to support the safety of your flight operations, but you should always check local restrictions. And key thing to remember is pay attention to your surroundings, because just because you're in Class G airspace doesn't mean that somebody isn't going to swoop down. And I think there's a pretty cool video of some crop dusting going on. Crop spraying, whatever. So that's up to date. Go fly. Duh. Plug that back in. Enter device. Check for updates. Latest version. Latest version. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is I have been flying around with an IMU warning for about a week. So I'm going to update, or I'm going to calibrate the IMU. So I tried doing it a few days ago. And I was outside, it was hot, I was on blacktop. Plus, when you're outside, you don't always have the benefit of a nice flat surface. So what we're going to do, since I'm air conditioned right now, and the table is flat, and the aircraft temperature is normal, we're gonna calibrate it. So we are still recording. We're gonna hit start. And we're just gonna follow the step-by-step directions shown on the iPad. Then when the lights flicker green, we know that it's time to pay attention to the iPad again to know what the next step is. Oh, sorry. And last but not least, the next step is to do all the way down on all fours. And then once it's done, restart the aircraft. Alright, so that's all we need to do right now with this. So we're going to power down the aircraft and the remote controller, and we're going to go on to the next step, which is we're going to update and recalibrate the vision positioning, which is the obstacle avoidance sensors on all four sides of the aircraft and on the bottom. Be right back. Alright, so I have the DJI Assistant downloaded. I confess it's my first time ever using it. Okay, so the DJI Assistant is not a verified app developer for the Mac operating system. So you have to go into settings and allow it to be installed. Continue. Install. Type in your password. And then we're going to need a micro USB cable, which I have plenty of. So once the installation of DJI Assistant 2 is done, then you need to do horn this. It'll only take a few kilobytes of, I emphasize kilobytes, of data on your device. Another inconsequential 2 gigabytes. So once that's installed, we can continue on with the aircraft. And hit agree, agree. On. Sure. All right. The aircraft is powered up. It's plugged into the micro USB, and it is also plugged into the computer. We'll just play it safe. I'm just going to. All right, there we go. We are connected and we are ready to go. Let's go in here. So we are just going to refresh. We do have an issue with the current version of the firmware, so we're just going to refresh it. It may take about 15 minutes, so I might skip through some of that. The download is going pretty well, but I have 100 plus megabit per second internet speed, so that's not an issue. And we're at 100, basically. Now we are going through the install process. At the current rate it's at, 15 minutes isn't looking very likely. This will also depend primarily upon the computer which you own. And there we go. The update process is complete. Alright, so now we're finally working on the calibration. And we're just going to slowly rotate the aircraft to follow the dark blue boxes until the entire screen shown on the screen recording is shown in blue, and this calibrates the cameras on the front of the aircraft. And now we're going to go like this by 90 degrees, so it's going to be, well, it's going to be the battery towards your right and the battery towards the left, or the front of the aircraft to the left. And then we're going to get it close enough. There we go. And we're just going to do the same thing. We're just going to follow the dark blue boxes until the entire screen is filled with blue. And it's going to do that a couple of times. Again, same process, just to make sure it's calibrated completely. Down, up, up, to the right, down, 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 to the left, 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 up, 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 right, down, complete. Now we're going to have the camera face us and the battery face away from us. And get it sufficiently in there. Okay, same process. This is the only time that you'll really see what your vision sensors are seeing.
Adding mode.
Good. So if you have multiple displays, it's recommended that you disconnect your secondary display because it will mess up the distance. It requires the distance. Alright. So now it is calibrating from the information it has collected. And this will take about a minute. But once this process is done, you're pretty much good to go and go out and fly. Like I said, it was supposed to rain earlier, but I think that rain chance has come and gone and never came. So now you can go out and fly. Enjoy your flight, knowing that all your systems are up to date, ready to go. But I'm not going to let myself fly yet, because I'm going to go ask a girl out on a date. Plus, it's not done calibrating. Alright, so it's going to restart the aircraft. I'm going to turn it back on. Goes to its normal chirp. And we're all good. Also going to check the DJI Go 4 app on the device here. I started recording on here. So we're going to disconnect the cable from the computer. We're going to power down the aircraft one more time. And we'll turn it back on again. And now it's not giving me any sensor warnings, so I think we're safe to fly. Another thing that I'm going to stop the screen recording here. Another thing that I usually do on the rainy days when I can't really go out and fly that much. Rainy days are especially good to catch up on paperwork, such as filling out location contracts, because some people don't like you to fly on their premises without special prior approval. So that's a good thing to do while you're at it. Alright, and that takes care of maintaining your drone on a rainy day, or if you just don't feel like going out and flying that day, but you still should really keep your aircraft up to snuff, so that way it maintains good flight.